men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you are laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. Did you hear me?
What kind of people do we want to become? Even though we learn about our ancestors, we never become them. We need principles. You know, Jesus said, my sheep know my voice. To not call your group is failure. The smarter our intellectuals become, the more cowardly they become. I know some great black minds, great minds. But that paycheck is going to dictate what's going to come out that mind. Now, feeding your family is way more important than speaking the truth to a people that's going to treat you like they did Dr. King. If there was a reward to speaking truth, more people would. I think this comes down to character.
A person with character does not live on what's popular. And this is why it's very difficult for politicians to have character. Because politics is based on popularity, which means you will literally sacrifice your principles to protect your popularity, which cancels your character, which means you cannot be trusted. Character, therefore, is simply that which is unchanging. Leaders must have character. Character is a commitment to a set of values without compromise. Character is the dedication to a set of standards without wavering. Character is self-imposed discipline. That means a person of character doesn't need the police. They police themselves. The only thing that can protect your gift and your talent is your character. Lead with your life. Your life is the weight of your words. There's no such thing as a private life. So don't you ever tell people, what I do in private is none of your business. It is my business, because it determines whether I trust what you say publicly. A person of character doesn't need to talk. They just show up. The Bible says the first thing God gave you is what? He gave you image. Which means that character is more important than power. Power will kill you without character. God is more concerned about your character than your dominating the earth. Three things will test your character: power, money, and access to sex. Every human on this earth that have ever failed was because of either power, money, or sex. Tempting will constantly be in your life to monitor your character. Your character is as strong as the temptation you fell for.
God's love for you will never change. He loves you. But he will not put weight on you if he can't trust you. Same way when you have kids, just because they're your kids does not mean that you can trust them with everything you built until you see that they have the character for it. You don't build an empire and just because you have a bloodline, you say, you know what, you take over the company. Do you have the character to run the company? I love you because you're my child, but I might choose somebody else for the job if you're not responsible enough. So where the enemy gets people is to say, you know what, no matter what you do, you're loved by God, but guess what? You're not trusted by God. There are things he cannot even share with you because you don't have the character for it, but it's assigned to you.
Character doesn't change depending on the room you're in. Character is the same regardless of where you put it, because character is not rooted in likability. Character is rooted in a belief system, and a belief system is rooted in conviction. The belief system that produces the character is what ultimately determines whether or not the fruit of that character is something worth passing on for generations. Character matters. And in a world where you are celebrated for being a personality, church, I want to encourage you to still dig into having character, because you can be an incredible personality. You can have hundreds of followers. You can be the most popular in the world. But if you do not have character, God cannot trust you. And trust can only come from character. And character is when you have integrity. You want the position, but do you want the character required to maintain the position? Can you draw a line in the sand? Do you have boundaries? Can you express those boundaries without wounding people? Do you take care of the people God sends in your life? But character cannot be taught in a 30-minute class. Character is when God deals with you about you. God, help me to be the kind of person who looks like Jesus, so that I do not take on the character of my trauma, so that I do not take on the character of my fear. Oh, you think that this attack is over your finances. You think the attack is over your family. The attack is over your belief system, because if he can get a hold of your belief system, then it will change your character. I wish they would turn me up in the microphone, because I got a devil to chase out of a belief system. I want hell to hear me, because we got some devils to chase. We got a belief system to change, because I got somebody to be, and I've got somewhere to go, and I know I can't be there unless I believe that I can do what God says I can do.